Hey everyone, I've only just got home from a week away in Austria, but I'm heading straight back there for today's Assetto Corsa Competizione race on Low Fuel Motorsport. It's the final round of the Go Setups GT3 Sprint season at the Red Bull Ring, and I'm starting down in P13 on a grid of 21. Now this week I was in Vienna to see one of my favourite bands, ACDC, and it was fantastic. But will my virtual visit to Austria today be as eventful? Will there be riffraff on the grid? Will I be shot down in flames? Okay, you've all seen the thumbnail and you know the drill by now. Bonus points for anyone who adds another ACDC reference into a comment below. Right, it's time to get on track, and it's safe to say this one didn't end up as I'd expected. Here we go then, lights are green, we're underway, and looming ever closer is this terrifying turn 1 at the Red Bull Ring. Thankfully, I'm starting on the outside. I do have the option of the runoff area if things get a little grisly. Big traffic jam in the centre of the track, and a Nissan almost at a complete standstill right in front of me there. That was Ronnie Hanisch, and I came within millimetres of running into the rear of him there. I was actually running it out as wide as I possibly could to try and get around the BMW of Tim Clotton ahead, but instead, yeah, there was a big green roadblock that I just managed to avoid. And it's every bit as tight in this next turn. I had an Audi sniffing up my inside there. That was Jean Moster, as well as an Aston Martin on my outside, Philip Fiedler. Both of them are still behind me, and I've actually gained a position. I'm up into P12. But watch Fiedler in the rearview mirror. He's applying all sorts of pressure around the outside, and I'm in danger of getting squeezed here. I was really close to the pink Porsche of Denise Bracer in front. And contact behind. We've lost Jean Moster in the Audi. There was a coming together between Moster and Fiedler there. Meanwhile, Breeze are taking a really wide line to try and get around that BMW of Tim Clotton. Clotton well down on pace there. I think he ran out into the gravel at T4, which cost him all his momentum through that section. So a nightmare first lap for Clotton. He started P6 on the grid, but he's now down into P11. Denise Bracer up into 10th. I'm holding firm in 12th. Fiedler right behind in 13th. He's just 0.3 of a second back as we come through the final turn to end this first lap. Okay, a chance to catch our breath then and check out a replay to see exactly what happened at T1. Now we've got to look towards the front of the grid. Keep your eye on that pale green Nissan. That's Ronnie Hanisch, and he's just going to get his rear tagged by the BMW of Clotton. Now I was fortunate enough to weave my way through and avoid all that, but I only picked up one position when I got past Hanisch. Meanwhile, behind me at T4, things got even rougher. There's the contact between Jean Moster and Philippe Fiedler, and it's Moster who comes off the worst. That Audi spinning out. Back to the live action then, approaching the end of lap 2. I'm still in P12, but I am in danger of losing touch with the cars in front. They're just beginning to open up a little bit of a gap now. Bracer in 10th, 1 second clear. Clotton in 11th, 0.7 of a second clear. I have at least got a gap of nearly 2 seconds to the cars behind now. That is allowing me to focus on this top 10, and I'll get a freebie coming through the final turn. And that was Marky Hart. He was actually battling for P2, so that's promoted me up into P11. Meanwhile, in front, Clotton is going to have a big look up the inside of Bracer here into turn 1. But no, he thinks better of it. Oh, there's another car that's come to a standstill just exiting that first corner. And it's another one of the front runners, Tarmo Malmi. Now Clotton and Bracer in front of me both took to the runoff area to get past Malmi there. I had a little bit more time to react and moved up the inside. And as a result, I didn't lose quite as much time as the two drivers in front of me, which has put me right back into contention here. I'm up into P10 and I've got P8 well within my sights. Let's go back and check out a replay to see what happened to these two. And first, we lost Marky Hard in that BMW. Now he's in P2 at this point, but he gets a big nudge from Igor Siriev behind. And then at the start of lap 3, another BMW bites the dust. This time, Tarmo Malmi running in 7th position. He just goes in too hot into that first turn. And fair play to both those guys who span out. They did exactly the right thing by staying still. Any attempt at a rejoin would have been catastrophic, as would a rejoin here. And that was Igor Siriev. We saw Siriev involved in the incident with Marky Hard a lap ago. What has happened to Siriev here? He's driving the Mercedes hole and he gets a dose of his own medicine. This time it is Siriev getting bumped from behind by Philippe Seigert. And that has gifted me another position. I'm now up into P9. Now we're still only on lap 3 here. It is early days in this race, but I'm progressing really nicely here. Breezer in 7th and Clotten in 8th, both within 1 second on this one. I've got my sights firmly set on 7th here, maybe even the top 6, because Seeger is only 1.6 seconds down the road now. So it certainly feels like I've got the pace to stick with these guys. We've still got more than 20 minutes of the race left. Anything could happen here. And a mistake from Denise Bracer going through the final turn, missing the apex completely. Bracer out into the runoff area. That is a golden opportunity for me to pick up another position here. I am up into P8. And Bracer isn't close enough to fight back into this first corner. So I've made 8th position my own. Now, can I go one better and challenge Clotten in that BMW for P7? And yeah, here's another look at that mistake from Bracer, just taking a bit too much of the curb there. It's really difficult to brake when you get out onto that raised curb, and Bracer missing the apex, gifting me another position. Right, back to the live action, approaching the end of lap 4. I'm pushing as hard as I possibly can now, because look how close the pack of 4 are in front. That is 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th, separated by less than a second, and I'm only 0.8 of a second behind them now. And another yellow flag out in T1. Have we lost another of the front runners? Yes, we have. Savi Villamanzo. Once again, I'm grateful for Villamanzo not trying to rejoin there. I only just managed to squeeze past. And here's another look at the mistake. He's done it all by himself. Now, I know from my days driving that Ferrari, they do not like raised curbs, and it has just cost Villamanzo 3rd position. However, Villamanzo's loss is our gain. This battle in front of me is now a podium battle. Patrick Lichtig is the Ferrari driver in 3rd position. He's closely followed by Philippe Seigert in 4th. Then we've got Tim Clotten and Isaac Lester side by side in the battle for 5th. And it's Clotten having a look up the inside into turn 4. Has he got the pace to get it done? No, he hasn't. He backs out of it, tucks back in behind Lester. And this fight is really good news for me, because it's allowing me to reel these guys in. I'm now just 0.5 of a second behind Clotten. Oh, it's even closer than that now. I'm right on the rear wing of that BMW as we come through the tricky turn 5. So yeah, things looking really good now. We're going to jump forward a lap, lap 6, and I am well and truly in this podium fight now. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and me in 7th, separated by just 2 seconds. But in front of me, it's looking like a carbon copy of the previous lap. Once again, Clotten is trying to move up the inside of Lester. Has he got the pace to get it done this time? He couldn't quite do it a lap ago. It looks like he might have done it this time. The pair of them still side by side as they exit turn 4. Now Clotten's got a car lengths advantage. He's able to take that 5th position. Now this tussle has allowed Lichtig and Seigert to make a break for it. There's a bit of clear air now for 3rd and 4th place, so I may not be in a podium battle anymore, but I am very much in a battle for the top 5. We're going to jump forward to the end of lap 8. This is the halfway point to the race, and as you can see from the leaderboard, the order has changed. Patrick Lichtig has made a mistake, so he has dropped down to 5th position. That has promoted Philippe Seeger up to 3rd and Tim Clotten up to 4th. Meanwhile, I have lost a bit of ground, but I've just posted my personal best lap of the race, a 1:30.5, so that has allowed me to start closing the gap in. It looked like Lichtig was a bit sideways through T1 there. That is going to invite Isaac Lester to launch an attack. Now, is Lichtig going to go defensive into this upcoming turn 3? It doesn't look like he is. He's staying on the racing line. Will Lester make a move up the inside? It's tight. Lichtig's left him room. He's gone for the switchback, but Lester makes the pass. And I have closed right in on the pair of them, so things are heating up nicely here on lap 9 at the Red Bull Ring. Now, is that red Ferrari going to try and challenge Lester up the inside into T4? He is, you know, but he's not quite close enough. However, he might have done enough to spook Lester in the Aston Martin, because Lester completely missed the apex now. Lester's got no choice but to go defensive up into this left-hander. And that means Lichtig is going to be hung out wide. This might be an opportunity for me to make a move on the inside. Oh, but the gap closed. There's contact. I've spun out. I think I've taken Lichtig with me. What a disastrous decision that was to go for that gap. And that was all on me. The least I can do now is wait for Lichtig to rejoin in front of me. He's made an absolute mess of the rejoin though, trying to get grip on the grass. I've still got to wait for him. It is the least I can do, but the race now effectively over. But I can see Lichtide in my rearview mirror. He's back on track now, so I'll let him go by. Now we can get back up to speed. But yeah, when you've only got a split second to make a decision, sometimes you make the wrong one, and that's what I did here. However, having studied the replay, it does look like that red Ferrari may have already been fighting to save a spin even before the contact with me. Now, that's not excusing my late move up the inside at all. I stuck my nose in where it wasn't wanted and where it shouldn't have been. But yeah, the Ferrari was just starting to spin. Now, the reason I went for the move was because I knew Leicester was on the inside. I knew that the Ferrari would be out wider. I thought there would be a gap, not necessarily to go for the pass, just to apply a bit of pressure. But yeah, that car's width on the inside soon disappeared when the Ferrari started oversteering. Let's look back from the Aston Martin of Leicester. Keep your eye on the Ferrari. Now, is that a spin? Is he oversteering, or is he just late to the apex? It's really difficult to tell. Let's watch Lichtsteig's steering input. Is he trying to correct an oversteer here, or is he just turning into the corner? He's turning in. Oh yeah, he's definitely trying to correct an oversteer just before the contact there. But ultimately, this one was on me. I stuck my nose up the inside where it wasn't safe to do so, and I not only ruined my own race, I ruined Patrick's too. I limped home to P16, Lichtide had to settle for P13. Both of us should have been battling for the top 5. Now, Clotten and Seeger got 3rd and 4th place in the end, both of them getting their lap times down into the 129s. That was something I couldn't do. A 130.5 was my fastest lap in the race, but of course that was before the big incident. So yeah, not the race I wanted to bring you at all after my week off. I hate it when I make mistakes that ruins the race for others, and that's what I've done today. But as always, I want this channel to be a true reflection of my sim racing journey. I'm not just going to cherry pick the good races. If I have a nightmare, I'm going to share that with you too, and that is what I've had today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Apologies to Patrick, and hopefully you'll all join me for the next one. Cheers for now.